So, Septemberk was a success. We now begin Bodtober. Still teaching myself to draw. This time, it's bodies all month, not faces. It breaks down, so essentially I'm going to start with individual parts and then work up to doing full people. Now, today I'm drawing feet entirely from memory. So I'm not even going to look at my own feet. I'm wearing socks, so I can't even get that much information about my own feet looking at them. My dog is here and very keen, but she shall not tempt me away. Now, to my recollection, if you want to draw a foot, the best thing to do is look at like the footprint of said foot. So you kind of perspective yourself. That's not really perspective. You perspective yourself a flat rectangle on the floor. There's my eraser. It's meant to be 2-point perspective. It looks like arse. And then from this, you essentially have a sort of raised front section for the toes. You sort of block up to there for the ankle, and then that kind of goes into where the leg is. So that's how you base the actual big toes go in the middle. I'm wriggling my toes here to try and figure this out. So you'd have a big toe there, and then smaller toes along here. Ankle there, and it kind of has an arch, doesn't it? And the ankle would go there. So entirely from memory, that's what a foot looks like from the side. From underneath, so if this foot on this side, every time I draw feet, I'm going to draw a pair, because they kind of come in pairs, you know. So the foot needs a kind of bit more substance there. Let's do a toenail. I've done 1, 2, 3. Needs an extra toe. I'll do a little one disappearing behind there. So these shouldn't be in a straight line like that. These should kind of go further back, shouldn't they? So one should be there, and then there, and then I've erased one of the toes again. So these should actually come up at like an angle like this. So if that's where the last one meets, we need 1, 2, 3, and a 4th. But they should get smaller, not bigger. I feel like when I had 3 toes, I was doing a lot better. Do feet get wider at the bottom? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is that I needed one out there, one out there, one out there, and one here. And that would have done the trick. But that's going to be all the toes I need. And so for the other foot, count the toenails. For the other foot, we need, so this foot's going to be stepping forward, so like the underside of a foot, as I understand it, is sort of like that shape. It kind of gets, obviously this would be higher up, so you have your big toe, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that seems wrong. So what if we, there's the bottom of your foot again, there's where your heel goes, and the toes are here, so then you would have kind of this toe come out like that, and then we'll split this into 4. Maybe that toe's too big. Maybe although it's the big toe, it doesn't actually need to be like half the goddamn foot. So then we have a toe here, a toe here, a toe here, and a toe here. And this is with the top of a foot. I feel like this should be the underside of a foot if that one's stepped, like, because this one will be higher up ordinarily. You know what? Let's do that. Let's not worry about trying to show multiple angles. let's say, right, there's a heel, there will be a heel here as well, but this foot is lifting up, so it's tapping. So this one will be a view from the front. This leg is coming up here. So this is a view from the front, meaning we have a big toe here, like so. So on the first day I'm doing feet for a very good reason. It's because there are 3 parts of the human body which are notoriously difficult to draw. The first is the face, because we spend all day looking at them. So that's why that was week 1. The second is the feet, because we spend 0 time at all looking at them, and therefore no one really knows what they look like, and they always look wrong. And lastly, it's the hands. And the hands always look wrong because they're just bloody difficult to draw. They're notoriously hard. Right. It's going to be a quick one today. I'm only 7 minutes in and I'm already gone to ink. So where to start with? I feel like I should get that big toe in first. Now, it may or may not surprise you to know that in taking on this challenge, I decided to get a little bit of expert help, and so I spoke to a couple of confirmed foot fetishists. Oh yeah. Just to ask about, you know, what feet should look like, and I couldn't get much sense out of them. I've got to say. So, didn't help at all. Didn't help at all asking experts in the field. Que sera and all that. I feel like there should be like a sort of an edge to that. So I guess the lesson here is, you remember the first day that I ever drew a face on day 1 of Septemberk, and it looked absolutely god awful. This is that, basically. This is the foot equivalent of that. I feel like what I should do here is kind of do a bit of contact shading with the ground. And some just to kind of put it in shadow. And then here, because this is essentially a foot whose print goes like like that. That's like the shadow of this foot would come like here. So that would come inward that way. Toes would go there, 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 and there. That is where the shadow of this foot would go. So on this one, the shadow comes now. The main advice that I got on feet was I asked about how, like, they couldn't describe how I should draw feet. Like there's no. I was hoping, because if they like feet, then obviously they would have aesthetic standards for the feet, for what they wanted them to look like. But there was none of that. They just like feet. But they did say that I could find plenty of foot models on DeviantArt. So in future days, we're going to be looking at some pictures on there, and also the. I feel like this needs to have more of a sort of spatial awareness to where the shading is. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. So, I've got to admit, this one's better than I expected my first go to be. That's actually quite impressive for someone who's never seen a foot before. Actually, I say that, I've already downloaded some reference images for the day, so I'm not going completely blind. I have very recently seen a foot. Yeah, I was going to do a whole week of feet, but if this is my starting off point and I do better from the references, I might skip to hands a little early. I don't really have a structure for this month yet. I have a vague structure in mind, but not like daily prompts or anything. So, yeah, watch this space for the way things go.